Julie. Welcome to my channel. You're watching Treasures Made from Yarn, and in this video, it's a video I wanted to make in a while now. I've been on YouTube for about, I want to say about 3 years, and I want to share what I've learned so far with you, especially those who are wanting to start their own channel. Might let them know what my experiences are like. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, first, kind of switching up where I normally do my vlogs and that, because I want to show what I got recently. There's like 4 tiers of this Amazon. I got off Amazon this rag, so you probably can't see the lower 2. But I recently added another 2 levels. And most of the stuff you probably see here probably used to be on the floor. So yeah, I'm kind of proud of that. And this could be more of my background. I feel like I like this background. I think I got my light box, so I got some decent lighting. So I made a list, which I rarely do. Sometimes I fly off the cuff. So I wrote a blog post. I do have a blog, and it called the same name as this channel, Treasures Made from Yarn. And so I guess that kind of starts where my journey on YouTube started. It started with the blog and how the blog started. So I started a blog because in the early days of social media, in the internet days, they didn't have all Facebook and stuff they have now, but there was like groups on the internet that I would show pictures of projects I did. And a lot of stuff I do, I don't follow a pattern, I just do my own thing, and just did my own thing. And people would constantly ask, well, do you have a pattern? Do you have a pattern for this? So I'm like, well, no, I don't. So that led to starting writing my own patterns. And someday my very first pattern were thong socks. That's my very first pattern I wrote, but I don't have a video tutorial on that yet. But my first video tutorial was the friendship shawl. So anyway, that's eventually what led to video. I first started the blog to write the patterns, and then I was writing patterns I've been writing patterns for, I was a good 10, 20, maybe 20 years now for now. But eventually more and more people was like, do you have a video? Do you have a video for this? Do you have a video? So I knew for years that my eventual progression was I need to start making videos for my patterns. So that's about 3 years ago. My first video, like I just mentioned, was my friendship shawl. And that's now my progression was I started making videos. I started making tutorials, and that was what it started with very few, I don't want to say contact, I was going to say contact. We're like my very first, community related, my talking to community. So that was one of the first things that I probably learned, that it's an evolution. It started with a blog, eventually led to video, which is just tutorials, and eventually evolved into community, which would be a later thing I learned. So that's my evolution now, that I'm now creating. Now I'm also now creating a video for content, and probably a video to maybe help you out and show what I learned. So that's my journey. So one of the earlier things I learned, when I was like, okay, when you start a channel, it's like, well, what works, what don't works. I did a couple videos that were not yarn related. I made a couple some food ones. I did one ASMR video. It's like, because at the time I was like watching ASMR videos like crazy. So that's what I was making. So I'll link those videos. Those videos obviously those videos don't do well because the YouTube algorithm is like, hey, you are making yarn, you're making this. So I'm gonna put your videos that you want to do a lot that are consistently the same, which is probably what most YouTubers know. It's probably here all the time. Find your niche. Find your niche. If you stay in one content for a while, I think that helps with the algorithm. That if you do stray too far off topic, that video probably won't do well, because it's like, I don't know what YouTube algorithm. I don't know what to do with you. So hey, if you want to check out my early oblong videos. I will put that in the description. So yeah, that's what I learned. Try to stay on not to stray too much. I think try not to stray too much off topic, but that can probably, that's part of the evolution process. Now, as I get more and more people that watch my channel, then I might start doing more stuff that's a little more for normal, which, all right, now my next evolution will probably be doing more and more knitting stuff, because I knit too, but right now I crochet more, so I got a lot of people that probably watch my channel probably crochet and maybe know how to knit too, but I probably don't have a lot of knitters that might watch. So okay, so I'm trying not to stray too much. That's probably one of my problems, like, oh, I babble and babble and babble. It's like, okay, stay on focus. Something I gotta work on. So yeah, try not to stray too much off topic. So, but also for the next thing I learned, which was more specific for my channel, and it's probably for anybody's channel, one of the terms I learned is to create evergreen content. This is the videos that even years from now, people are going to come back and keep watching. And that is, for me, that is the tutorials. People come back and watch my tutorials. But not just tutorials, I learned, and that is yarn-related videos. If I do a video on a specific yarn, or a yarn haul, or a yarn, that people come back and watch that. More specific, not necessarily yarn hauls, because that's probably more current day stuff. But if I do a video on a specific yarn, people come back and watch that. So that's one of the things I also learned, not tutorials and yarn videos. So I want to regularly create those videos because I need people to come back and watch stuff so I can get more watch hours. And maybe it might also help a community too. So that, and speaking of which, transitioned into community, which that is probably another one of the biggest things I take away, is that the community is awesome. The YouTube community, and in my case, the yarn community is really awesome. I've got, people get happy mail, and you see stuff, people give things away, and people, they shout out other people's, and then everybody tries to support each other, and I feel like I'm lacking in that department. I want it because it is truly it's awesome, and I'm sure that's for any other niche that probably is true. Maybe if you do scrapbooking, there might be a community in scrapbooking that the community is awesome. Maybe communities in the niche. I can't speak for those, but I'm assuming it's the same as the yarn community. That people are awesome, and that's probably one of the reasons why. That might be a reason why you want to do YouTube, not necessarily to make money, but to reach out and have, actually friends. There are probably people now that I would, even though I've never met them, that I would almost consider a friend. And it's amazing. I think I'm about ready to cry, because that is the one thing I did not expect when I started the channel. I was just going to make tutorials so people can help. Actually, yeah, help. I guess it helps. That's another purpose of YouTube, is to help other people. And that was my first start, but the community was kind of threw me away. That the community is awesome. Okay. I also learned that how much time props to people who try to do this full time. I already have a full-time job, and then doing YouTube is almost a full-time job in itself too. So expect it to take a lot of time and energy, and it could be very stressful. YouTube's supposed to be fun. So if you're not having, if you already I think I do deal with some anxiety and stuff, this could elevate your anxiety. So I always try to focus that this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something you enjoy, a hobby that you enjoy doing, because right now that's what it is. Mostly it's a hobby. Be nice if it can be. It's gravy if it can be my full-time job. But if you have a full-time job, I have a full-time job, and then trying to do this, and And it also, because it takes time, and it could eventually take time away from like family and stuff. So I think you have to be mindful of how this works in your life, because it's going to take up time that you probably didn't realize you have. So yeah, that was probably one of the big things I learned. So okay, look at my list. Look at my list. I think that covers most of my list, other than some. I do this. I use my phone. If you're starting out, I think one of the advice that I remember reading on someone else's channel is don't go out and buy thousands of dollars on equipment. Most of us have a smartphone already. That's what I'm using, and I am surprised at the quality of the phone. That I'm thinking, do I really need an actual camera? You might need an actual camera if you're, depending on if you're not doing. I mean, if this is all I'm gonna do, then do I need a camera? I guess if people who do travel vlogs and other, you might, and that's part of the learning process that I'm evolving. And I'm like, do I need a camera? Do I want a camera? But for me, most of the equipment that I have is used with a phone. If I got a camera, I might have to get other equipment, like a mic for the camera. I have to get probably a stand, a tripod, or something that'll hold the camera. Most of my stuff I have holds the phone. So a lot of things to think about when you're starting out. Those are things that I would probably get once I actually start making some actual money from me. If I start making money from YouTube, then I might start thinking, okay, do I want to get a camera? Or technology, the phone. The phone is great and awesome. I have a mic. I got a mic for the phone. But if you're starting out, the mic on your phone is not that bad, at least for an iPhone. I can't speak about other phones. If you're starting out, start simple. Start with your phone, and then as things evolve, if you start making money, then maybe look into start upgrading the equipment. That might be around my corner, that I might start thinking about upgrading equipment. But I'm also thinking, phone does a really good job. So I also check out. I did a blog. Check out my blog post, because I did a list of things. I did a search, that a list of 5 things that other creators have learned while doing the channel. It probably is, obviously the first one was to create a niche. Well, I started the channel because I already had a niche in mind to start. So I guess that's probably important. If you want, sometimes I wonder, people, it's like, I want to do a YouTube channel, but might not know, oh, what do I want to do? And that could be find a niche. And then, yeah, my evolution is that the niche found me. Yep, that was my niche already. So, yeah. I think another thing is, I'm trying to remember what was all on my blog. I didn't even write that. I should have wrote that all down. But was to, some of the things, like keep a content schedule. I know really hard to do if you have a full-time job trying to figure out. I do try to regularly put out a work in progress video, a regular video. At least that once a week. I'm starting to do things we're making Thursday, so that's now two of them that I'm making a week that I want to regularly do. And this goes back to time and energy, because for a while I was doing 3 regular videos, and it was getting to be too much. So by now there's like 2 regular videos, and there might be the work in progress I think one week fell into Thursday. So I try to make a regular content and a regular filming schedule. And I'm actually filming, one of my regular filming ones is a Saturday morning, because I'm not working. It's or not working. So this is the time I usually do my tutorial. I would do a tutorial on Saturday, or a yarn video on Saturday morning. But I'm doing this video on a Saturday morning. So that was like content, and then also says the plan. Yeah, I don't have a written plan, but yeah, rarely do I write stuff down. But it might not be, that might not be a bad idea to actually, okay, plan out what you're going to write. It might be bad. I'll try and think if that is also, and also, yeah, probably another advice is like upload your first video. And I think that's just what I did one day. It's like, just post a video. Actually, my first video might not have been a tutorial. For a while I was doing hats, not hate. And I think my first video is showing all the hats I did for Hat Not Hate. So yeah, just dive in. Make your first video. And that's right. And also, I think, comment. Yeah, I think that's another thing. That's part of the, going back, what was the community part. Comment, you know, comment on people who comment on your videos. Or at least somehow respond that you've at least seen their video. Which is what I do. I probably like getting hearted. At least you know that I've at least read and have seen your content. So yeah, now see, now that got me thinking. I have it written down, but the one thing you might have to look for are, we'll say, negative comments. Fortunately, I don't have a lot of those. I think I only had, no, we're talking a true negative comment. There's comments that you have to look at it. Okay, is this constructive criticism? Is this going to help me? So yeah, even though it might have that negative tone, you have to look at it. It's like, okay, is this comment going to help me? I think one time I can only think of one comment that it was negative and not helpful, and it was just an outright bad content. And that might be something as I grow more and more that I might have to start dealing with. And that's negative comments, and that goes back to the mental health, mental energy. Yeah, I have to learn, and it's not going to be to take the negative comments in stride. Either, hopefully it was a comment that you learn from, that you can learn from, and hopefully, and try to completely ignore the negative comments that are just there as a negative comment. And like I said, fortunately for me, 99.9% of the comments are positive, and it just, again, that's the community that we're in. Yeah, so yeah, that's probably the last takeaway, is learning. I still, to this day, will always learn. There's still lots to learn, especially as I grow bigger and bigger, and then I might evolve into other areas that, or problems or areas, or what I need to work on. And then one of the things I probably need to work on that I know is to connect with you guys. And I guess that might be a reason for having a camera. It seems like when I look at you, I don't directly look at you. And I want to, and that's probably an important part, is the community and its connection with people. So I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to learn on community. I might have a lot to learn probably for lighting and, you know, editing, and there's always stuff to learn. So if I will try to leave for editing. See, now we're babbling, and sorry. For editing, for the longest time I had iPhone, so I used the iMovie, but I think I recently moved to a different one, which I will leave their icon here. So yeah, I still have a lot to learn, is probably my last takeaway. I have a lot to learn. So I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments, maybe if I had forgotten something, that maybe if you're a creator and what you've learned, you can put that in the content. Just let me know if you liked it. I always like to know if you like my videos. I don't think I could ever appreciate and thank you for those who keep watching, keep coming back. I feel grateful for that, and I try to do the same for other content creators. Again, we're talking about going back to time and energy to create this. It takes time and energy, you know, the YouTube takes time and energy. And I want to go back and try to make sure I reach out to all the other creators, what they're doing. They're awesome. So I suppose I can shout out some of my favorites. And I have a list of people I subscribe to, but I think the 3 ones I try to watch often, actually there's 4. I want to shout out, I think K&K Crochet is, it seems like their videos, I watch it, it seems like they're more community-based. A community case vlog that they talk about crochet. They talk about they got a Bumblebee Mountain outreach. They talk about that. That's their charity. I think they started it, but check out their channel. And I think other channels that I've watched are, try to watch Queen's Craft by Bridget. I think her channel was more community. I think her focus is community. So a lot of her both that Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming has a Bod Hat Blues that's going on, and I try to watch her. She's up in Alaska, so although lately her beginning of her videos have what the weather is in Alaska. It's like, oh, that's cold. So I try to watch her channel quite a bit, and I also participate in the Mystery Yarn Challenge, and that is Laureate Armchair Chef, and she's also in the past have given me happy mail that I'm like, why'd you do this? You didn't have to do this. So, and there's many others if I didn't mention. I know there's others that I watch along the way. But them are the ones I try to watch that I've been finding myself watching, but I know there's more out there. I know there's Just Another Stitch that I watched for a while, and I watched for a while I was watching Allie at Allie Artifacts, but again I haven't had time. I have to catch up on watching some of that, so I haven't watched that. And I've also done giveaways for Connie at Just Another Stitch. And I know there's just so many. I can probably do a whole video on all the other content creators that I can shout out that I watch. So, alright, I think that'll be it. Other than, I probably didn't point out, that treat was my belated Christmas gift from my daughter. She does cross stitch. Oh, and I'll have to do a video because I taught her to crochet, and now she's crocheting our agurumi. She's doing that like crazy now, and I'm like, I was so excited. I got to teach my daughter how to crochet. That's going to have to be a future video. I might have to introduce to her in a future video. But she's in Kansas. She's in Kansas. I'm in Nebraska, so I don't see her that often. So, all right. If you're still here, well, thank you for still being here. So, now it's time for my regular closing. If you did like this video, please give a like. I want to see more content like this. Please subscribe to my channel. And I want to thank you always for watching. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye now.